Okay, you see that recycling bin that I just pointed out? Effective because you can only put bottles and cans that can actually fit, so there's no contamination in the bin. And I don't understand why recycling bins are not like that everywhere, because you get such high rates of contamination because people are just putting whatever rubbish they want to inside recycling bins. So that is a good example.
Coke Zero or orange juice?
Hello. So as you can see in the previous clip, I showed you my breakfast right here. And in it I put 2 frozen bananas, a dash of oat milk, but you can just put whatever nut milk or dairy-free milk of your choice. And I put a bit of matcha and a bit of spirulina for a little bit of protein. But I also just really like the taste of spirulina. But I probably shouldn't be promoting it just because it's expensive, I suppose, and it's like a superfood nowadays, so I feel like it could probably have the same fate as quinoa, where the local people can't even afford to eat their own staple crop anymore because we've imported all their food. So anyways, I topped my smoothie bowl with homemade granola and a little bit of nut butter, and it's real good. So I just came back from class, and today was such a wet day and it was so misty, and for some reason I thought I didn't need my waterproofs. But lo and behold, I actually did. But I brought my cap just in case, so at least that came in handy. So all I did today was I went to the gym, and then I had lunch and did some reading, and then I went for my class that's called Human Dimensions in Environmental Change. And for today's like content, we did ecological economics and 2 other like frameworks to analyze environmental change, and it was like super interesting, but it's just hard to absorb information for 4 hours straight, especially from like 2 to 6 p.m, which is like kind of like, and I don't know, I don't really like that time, I suppose. And there was so much content to absorb within the 4 hours, and also not much discussion. So I just found it a little bit hard to absorb what she was saying. Yeah. After class though, I went out to the pub with a few of my course mates, and that was really nice, just like chatting. But then I got super hungry, so I had to leave because my stomach was hurting. And I think it's one of those things where you're so hungry and your digestive juices are like activated, but there's no food for it to work with, so it almost feels like they're like corroding my stomach lining, if that makes any sense. But it just like hurt so much, and even when I got home and I quickly made food, my stomach still hurt after I ate, and it only just like went away. So I think next time I just need to be prepared and like bring lots of snacks so that it doesn't hurt in the future. But I was so wet as well cycling back, and it was dark and I didn't have bike lights, which is not very good of me. I need to get bike lights soon actually, because I mean autumn is coming / here, because the sun is gonna set so early. So recently I've just been feeling half inspired, well like maybe 10% inspired and like 90% really sad and frustrated at the world. Like I went for the climate strike on Friday, as you've seen in the my previous video, and it was like really inspiring to see so many kids, so many adults, so many like teenagers, like so many people of such diverse backgrounds and ages and nationalities like marching for this amazing cause, but then you're then reminded of the fact that so much is not being done, or there's so much more that can be done. All the most, I suppose, with regards to behavior change, like trying to change people's behavior to be more environmentally friendly. But it's just really frustrating when you can't even succeed with like the people close to you, and then you just think of the millions of people whose behavior that you can't change or you can't even reach, and you're just like, what am I supposed to do? Like, if I can't even, yeah. Of the reason why I wanted to start this as well was just to like share more information about the environment, and also trying to share like behavioral change like tips or like things that I do, hopefully to inspire people or just like make people aware of the things that they're currently doing that is not good for the environment. So yeah. So today I just went for a hot yoga class in the morning, and then I went for my other class called Energy and Society. The lecturer for this class is really engaging and interactive, which is good, which is quite rare, I feel. Not of just like teaching at this university, but just like in general. I feel like it's rare to find a lecturer who's actually engaging or like engage us with the class rather than just like spewing content for 4 hours straight. We had like a group meeting to discuss our group project, which accounts for 50% of the grade, which I'm not really a fan of because I don't like my grade being dependent on other people. But my group mates seem nice, and it seems like they're the kind that would pull their weight of the project, so hopefully that'll be good. And then after class I just went to get a wrap with a couple of my friends from my course, and then I just went to ECCI, which is the Edinburgh Centre for Carbon Innovation, and it's where some of our classes are at, and also there's like a study space on the top floor just for master students, which is really nice. So I just did lots of reading and consolidating like lecture notes from the past week, and then I left at 5 and cycled home. And after I came home, kind of just like chilled for a bit, and then I made dinner. Just had like rice and roasted veggies, and it was nice. And then I continued to chill, and I think now I'm just gonna start doing a bit of reading before I continue chilling. Peace out. sweaty. So I just came back from hot yoga class and it was really good. Feel super energized and good. So what did I do today? Today I did work in the morning and then I went to SRS for lunch, which is the Social Responsibility and Sustainability Department of the university, which is where I did my internship over the summer. And it was so nice talking to all my old colleagues and friends. And then I went to a coffee shop to do more work with a friend, and then we went for hot yoga together, and now I'm back. I just came back from Glasgow and I was there because I did a module with the Youth Leader Development Program. Basically it's a national program to teach young people, or like to equip young people with the skills to deal with climate change issues at the personal, professional, and can't remember what the last one was, but 3 different levels, or like spheres of your life, I suppose. So today I did the module on how to tackle climate change issues at the personal level, and it was really good. It was nice meeting lots of other people. There are about 120 of us who got in the program, from all over Scotland. One like main takeaway today, like we did a reflection session where we had to write was I am proud of the actions that I've taken because ... and then you just like write whatever. And I don't necessarily feel proud of the things that I do, in the sense that I feel like it's the least I could. For example, like I don't support fast fashion. I'm vegan, so I don't eat meat, and I buy like 60% of my food from the bulk food store. I cycle instead of driving, I suppose, or like even taking the bus. So I don't know, I always felt like that was the least I could do, the capacity to do all that. So there's no excuse for me not to. It would be nice to take the time to actually be grateful to myself, and to be proud of myself for doing all that I do. But obviously I feel like I could do more, and I feel like that's always the case you would pride other people for doing things that you already do, but somehow it just seems more significant when other people do it than yourself. I don't know if that makes sense, but yeah. So another takeaway is the fact that sometimes I feel really frustrated or like shocked that people at this point still do not know what they can do for climate change. They don't know what behavior they can take, or like what behavioral change can help contribute to a person becoming more eco-conscious, because to me it's just so obvious. And I think I always forget that I was that person once. To give an example, now I'm like, how can you not bring your own shopping bag and use plastic bags from supermarkets when you're buying food? And I forget that at one point in my life, like just a few years ago, I've never even considered using a plastic bag as something that was detrimental to the environment. And I think it's always good to reflect and remind myself that I was that person once. Obviously now, having moved on to the other side of being more environmentally aware, I'm like, well, it's so obvious, but actually, well, it's not obvious, because I was once that person who was totally unaware of such issues. I'm super aware that I may not be the most eloquent speaker, or I don't feel like I speak very well. And I am terrified because I'm speaking on a panel at my university, like a panel discussion with like other academics, so like the head of the School of Geosciences from my university, and I think there's a head of the School of Education, and like 2 other people, and then it's me representing the student body, and I am terrified of speaking in front of everyone because I don't feel like I speak very well, and I'm not necessarily an expert in any topic per se, and I'm just super scared, because I suppose I do want to sound like I know what I'm talking about, but I feel like I don't really have much experience, or I don't have anything special to contribute. So I'm not really sure what I got myself into, because my friend was just like, oh, do you want to be part of the panel? I was like, sure. But